Today I wanted to spend a little time in my swing trade portfolio and show you what has closed out and where I am at on the other plays and which ones I have opened up recently. Hello my friends, this is Legend. I just wanted to take a moment to go through my swing trade portfolio. And for this one here, I'm just going to kind of quickly go through the ones that I had closed, and I have opened some new ones as well. Now this one here, I don't think I've probably done a video on this in a while. It might have been even a month or two since I've done a video on my swing trade using the RSI2 and the moving averages. So let's just go through and may show the Weeble chart at times just to show my thoughts and ideas of what I'm planning to do or what my thoughts are moving forward for some of these plays. So first of all, we have AbbVie here, and AbbVie, I opened it up in December the 4th. I had 20 shares at an average of 175.09. And I closed at the end of December for $175.68, which profited me $11.73, therefore about 0.33% earned on my money for a total number of days into the trade was 26 days. That gave me an ROI estimated for the year. If I would stretch this out over a year, that would have been about 4.7% for the year. The second one is AFL. I got into that one also on the 4th of December, had 23 shares of $104.82. I sold out of that one. I got, stopped out. All of these hit a stop and then triggered and sold, right? And this one triggered at January the 22nd, 2025. It triggered at a stop price of 105.40. So again, not much on the upside. So this one here ended up earning me $13.37, which is 0.55% money on my trade for a total number of days in the trade of 49 days, which over the year would give me an ROI of 4.13%. So the next one here is going to be on 12/4. PRU, that one here, I have 36 shares of average price of $120.32. I am still in this play. Have not closed out or got triggered out on that one. As you can see, the current price is $109.50. So I am down a little bit on this one. Not much, but I am down a little bit. PGR on December the 9th. This one here, I did get triggered out of it. So I had 31 shares at $244.61 average price. Got kicked out January the 17th. It kicked me out at $244.88. So again, not a whole lot on this one here. I earned $8.21, a 0.11% on my money for a total number of days in the trade was 39 days. So it earned, stretched out over the year, ROI would have been 1.01%. Again, not a big win there, but it is still a win. December the 16th, NVIDIA. I did get kicked out of this one. It hit my stop. I had 8 shares at an average price of $129.12. I got stopped out on January the 8th at $138.31. That's a nice little jump right there from $129 to $138. So that gained me $73.47, which is about 7.11% on my money. I was in the trade for 23 days, so stretched out over the year, that's 112.87%. Very nice on that one. Much better, much better. December the 27th, 2024, I was in VOO. I did get kicked out of this one as well. It hit my stop. I had 5 shares of $538.32. I got kicked out on January the 7th at $541.82. Now 541.82 to 538.32. That's a pretty nice little jump right there. Paid me $17.41. So that's a 0.65% in just 11 days. So not a big percentage, but I was only in it for 11 days too. So stretched out over the year, that would have been 21.46%. And that's the reason I'm showing these yearlies, because it shows you apples to apples here. On 12/29, Microsoft, I am still in this one with 14 shares at $417.98 average cost. And like I said, I'm still in this one, but it has a current price of $408.29. So I am down a little bit in this one, but I'm okay with that. I'm still purchasing some shares over time, so I can bring that average down. 12/30. PANW. I am out of this one, got kicked out of this one. I had 13 shares of $177.36. I got kicked out on February 14th at $189.54. So we went from 177 to 189 on this one. It's a nice little move. That earned me $158.23, which is 6.86% on the trade. Over a period of 46 days, stretched out over the year, would be 54.45% for the year. Not too shabby for that one. On January the 7th, VOO, I did get kicked out of this one again. So as you can see, I was in it, got kicked out, got back in it, and got kicked out again. We've had some pretty violent and very choppy days where we were shooting up huge and then dropping down huge, right? So by putting my stop on there, I was getting triggered, but that was allowing me to hopefully buy back in at a lower price. And as you can see here, I have 4 shares at $535.87 versus my previous purchase up here was $538.32. So I did get kicked out previously at that $541 and then was able to buy back in it at $535.87. And that's what I mean by this is my swing trade account, because I am just always getting in and out of them and just swinging them. So I did get kicked out of this one on February 21st at $555.48. Very nice move on this one, from original there of the $535.87 to $555.48. That earned me $78.37, which is 3.66% in a trade for 45 days, which stretched out over the year would have been 29.66% for the year. Very nice, very nice. January the 10th, NVIDIA, I am still in this one. I have 14 shares. My average is 126.71. Now, the current price is 134.40, so I am currently still up in this one. I do not have a stop set on this one. I'm letting this one move a little bit before I set that stop, and we'll see how it plays out as time goes. Then on January the 23rd, I got into AAPL, Apple. I am still in this one. 3 shares, average price of $222.88 is my average. The current price is $245.55, and I do have a stop on this one at $236.65. So if I get kicked out, or if this price drops and it drops down to my $236.65, it will kick me out, but I will have gained the difference between the 236 to the 222. So that's going to gain me about $14 a share, and I've got 3 shares of that. October 18th here, I had got into Uber, UBER, and I'm still in this one. I've been playing this one a little bit further back, giving it plenty room to move. It's been moving pretty good lately, and once I'm gone through all of these, we'll kind of take a look at the charts too. The Uber, I have 95 shares of this one, my average being at $69.05. Current price is $78.89, and I have a stop at $77.96. So it was up much higher than this. I think it was around about $82, and I had this $77.96 stop on it, but it has since come down a little bit, and it is getting really close to my stop price. And if it does, then it will kick me out, and I will get the difference between the $77.96 to $69.05 times the 95 shares, and that will kick me out at that point. Now, the newer ones that I have got into is February 21st here. I got in onto Amazon. I bought 2 shares at $223.40. Current price is $216.58. It's still kind of coming down a little bit, so I'll just keep averaging in on that one. February 20th, I got into Meta, and I bought 2 shares of that one with an average of $689.45. Current price is $683.55. So I am down just slightly on that one as well. But same with Amazon and all of these ones coming up. I am long on these. So I will be purchasing more shares to keep bringing my average down on these. RDW, Redwire. I have 45 shares at $18.95 per share average, and the current price is $17.91. I do have this $120 sitting over here because I sold a $16 put on RDW. That put is to expire March the 21st, and for selling that put, I earned $120 for that. So I went ahead and entered that in as a gain because I keep that no matter what. But if I do get assigned at that $16, then this 45 will go to 145 shares because each contract is worth 100 shares. February 21st, I got into TJX. I got 2 shares at an average of $122.98. Current price $121.11. February 21st, got into WMT Walmart, 4 shares at $97.30. It has a current price of $94.78. So I am down just slightly on this one as well. February 21st, I got back into VOO. Remember up here, I had got kicked out with my 4 shares, and that happened on that same day, February 21st, when I got kicked out at that 555.48 up here. As it went down, I just went ahead and purchased right back in, and I got 2 more shares. So after selling the 4 shares and gaining that $78.37, locking that profit in with that sale at $5.55, I purchased 2 shares at $552.11. So now I own 2 shares at $552.11. Current price is $551.75. I am slightly down on this one, as you can see, just barely, but if I didn't sell this 555.48 up here, then I would not have locked those profits in. It would now be at 551, so I would have lost about $4 worth of profits per share from the previous, which is about $16. So I would have lost $16 out of that $78. So that's the reason I like to set my stops. Lock in those profits. Now sometimes it does come down, trigger me, kick me out, and then shoot back up. But there are times where it comes down, triggers, kicks me out, and keeps going down, and allows me to get back in at a lower price here. And then if it keeps going down, I can keep averaging down on that stock, especially on good quality stocks. So real quick, let's look at the Webull chart. So here we are on the Webull chart, and as you can see here, The white dotted line on all of these charts that I'll be showing will be my average price. That's where I'm at on my average. So this is more of a visual of what we just saw, and this is only the stocks that are still open in my account, not the closed ones. The ones that have been kicked out of, those are done with. But before I get too far, please like, subscribe, and share. It'd be much appreciated. So here we have PRU, and as you can see, my average being at that 120.32, and the price now is down here around this 109-ish area, so 109.50. I am down a little bit, but I'm hoping to see this get back up at around that 200 moving average, which is this red line, and that's the reason I'll keep purchasing shares to help bring down this average to get it closer to that 200-day moving average. SCHD, this one here is just a slow moving stock. It just doesn't move a whole lot. It pays a nice dividend, I guess. You know, it's about 3.5% dividend yield for an ETF here. But once that does get up above my cost, which it is slightly above it, but once it gets up a little bit further, I'll probably start setting stops on this just to lock in some profits and take that money and move it into something that's going to move a little bit better and provide a little bit more income for me. Microsoft here, as you can see, my white line here, it did close down here today, but it just kind of fell down a little bit from the dividend that it paid out. A lot of probably profit taking too. So I see this one here hopefully finding its support and its bottom down here at around this 403 to 405, 406 area, and then hopefully bouncing off of that and then going back up. NVIDIA, my average cost is right there on that MA200. So I'm not too worried about NVIDIA. It is come down a little bit today. This is after hours. This is Saturday, and so this is the candle for Friday, February 21st. But as you can see, it did come down, but I'm hoping that this one here is just breathing a little bit, and then it'll take back off. And then I'll be able to start setting my stop along that green line. And that green line here, as you can see, this green line, that's the moving average. That's a 5-day moving average. And let me turn off the Bollinger Band here just to show my moving averages to clean it up. And that green line, like I said, that's the 5-day moving average. And I'll be able to set that stop along that line so that whenever it comes down, it can kick me out in profit. Apple, we have my average here at the 222.88. I do have a stop on this one, and I've got my stop set at right here at this 236.65. So I am riding this green moving average, 5-day moving average line. I am back a good bit, and I may end up moving this one up, and I may move it right to there. And as you can see, this number right over here, that's the moving average, and that's the 5-day moving average, MA5. So I may take it from that 236.65 where it currently sets, and if I bump it up here, it'll be 240.02. So I may do that by Monday just to help lock in more profits. I like to stay a couple days behind on these big banger type stocks like Apple and Nvidia and Microsoft and Amazon and all this, because those I really don't want to get kicked out. But if they're going to have a bad day here, something like this, right, where it falls, and this one here, I mean, it fell from 246 all the way down to 233. You know, I don't necessarily want to ride this all the way down, and then the next day here it actually went as low as 225. So I would much rather get kicked out. Now I will say, if you have a jump like this right here between those candles, now before that day opens, if I see, and if I have my stop here, something like, say, I have it right here, and I see that price is all the way down here for the start of the day, so before it opens, I will turn that stop off because I do not want to necessarily get kicked out over some kind of bad news that happened either over a weekend or overnight or something like that. I don't necessarily want to get kicked out for that because a lot of times that bad news for something like that would not really last for a very long time, and it usually will come back. And in this case, as you can see, it did. So if I would see this starting to happen before market open, and I am setting with a stop, say right in here something, I would cancel that stop order so that it does not stop me out at that point. Because what happens is whenever it opens, even though I have this stop set right here at, say, 233.32, okay? When it opens here, and it opened at 229.74, that's what it's going to sell at. It'll sell at that 229.74 or lower, right? Or somewhere right in that area. It will not sell at the 233.32, even though that's my stop. So what happens is whenever you set a stop order, then it becomes a market order and it will sell at market, right? If the stock is falling and it's falling fast and it blows right through your stop, it will trigger it, but it will also go straight to market. And then if it's falling so fast, you may not get filled, and then you may lose, a bit more money off of that stop, right? Because it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you set a stop order at a certain price that that's what you will get. It just becomes a market order once it is triggered. So Uber here, I've got my average here at this white line of 69.05, and as you can see here, it's been moving up quite nice. And I do have a stop on this one as well. And I have it at 77.96. And as you can see, this candle here is falling kind of far. And we are getting close because my stop at being right here at this 77.96, we are really close to hitting that. And it may hit it come Monday. Who knows? It may hit it. And if it does, then I'll take it. Amazon, my average being at the 223.40. Again, the stock did fall, and I was buying it as it fell. For this one, I bought it, I think, at opening, around about that time. It did fall throughout the day, and I can continue to buy more shares and average down on this one. For Meta, as you can see, it is coming down a little bit. There's my average, and I'm right there at the average on this one. But, I mean, when you look at these stocks, like, for instance, Meta here, there's that 200-day moving average, that red line, and the charts and the candles are staying right above it. And that's the reason, when I'm buying into these, I'm looking for this, right? I'm looking for those candles to stay above that 200 EMA. That way I have a better feel that this stock is going to stay up there and it will continue on going up. Now it can drop down below it, but overall this is staying up and to the right and staying above that EMA 200. Since I'm showing this one here, the RDW, as you can see, same thing. 1 year chart, it's staying above that 200 MA, and that's the reason I got into it. And also, as you can see, I bought it because of that RSI2 over here. The RSI2 dropped down to 2.19, okay? And even the day before was about 5.14, okay? So this one here has been falling down a good bit, so I got into this one because I saw that RSI being oversold. I saw we were down, and we'll even look at that Bollinger Band. If you're still with me around this time of the video, we'll just go ahead and take a look at the Bollinger Band. As you can see, it is down below that Bollinger Band as well. So, that's a lot of good signs for this one. I like this one. This one here, like I said, the 1 year chart was up and to the right above the 200-day moving average. we are below the Bollinger Band here, and the RSI2 is down. Okay, so here we are on TJX. And TJX, the white line is my average of 122.98. The price is down. As you can see, I did buy into this one as it was going down below or at that Bollinger Band. So it was on the lower end of that Bollinger Band. And it has surpassed that. So I will be continuing to buy into this one to keep averaging my stocks down. As you can see, the RSI2 here, it got as low as 2.44. So that's why I got into this one. WMT, again, we're under the midpoint of the Bollinger Band. We're toward that lower end. I have my average here at $97.30. And as you can see, that RSI2 being at 2.09. So that was a buy for me. And let's just take a look at that 1 year just to show why I got into it. Turn the moving average back on, and as you can see, look at this. I mean, it's just staying right above that 200-day moving average. If I go out to the 5 year, there it is, staying right above it. So that's why I got into these. Most of them are just staying right above it. Nice and pretty graph. And for the day of it, it did drop down on the RSI2, and as you saw earlier, the Bollinger Band, it is at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, so I got into it. VOO, this is the last one here. As you can see, my average being at that 552.11. It is under the mid, and it's headed toward that bottom of that Bollinger Band, but since that RSI2 here dropped below the 10, on the RSI2, it's sitting at 6.51. I got into that one. If it continues to go down, I'll continue to purchase shares. But that's why I got into this one as well. So if we go out to the 1 year, what does the 1 year look like? We go to 1 year here. Let's turn off the Bollinger Band. Let's turn on our moving average. And look at there. I mean, it's just beautiful, right? It's just beautiful. Those are the signs that I'm looking for when I'm getting into a play. There's the 5 year. I mean, that just gives you a little bit more assurance that even if the stock does come down, overall, it looks like it's going to continue to go up. Is it guaranteed? Well, no. Nothing in life is guaranteed for stocks. That's for sure. But all you got is history. And history tells me that I feel pretty confident in staying in VOO as it continues to rise up. Even if it drops, that's a buy point for me. I'll just continue to ride it. And then eventually, for the day chart here, eventually I will look to set a stop again on VOO. So let's just look at what that stop would be here, and I've got my moving average on. Right now, I always set that moving average here, that 5-day moving average, that is always my stop. So as you can see, I purchased down here, so the moving average is up here. So I can't set a stop higher than the current price. So for now, since it is under it, if it continues to stay under it, I'll continue to purchase and hopefully keep lowering my average price down. So that's just some of the thoughts, ideas, and things that I'm looking at and how and why I'm getting into some of these stocks, right? Because when you're just looking at it without any kind of indicator on it or anything, you're just looking at this graph and you say, okay, well, it looks like it's going up. That's a buy, right? Well, what if you bought it right here and it goes across and you're like, all right, and then it falls, right? And you're like, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? So sell, right? Because it fell from, in this case right here, it fell from roughly a price of $5.55, and it fell all the way down to $5.36. And if you saw that and you didn't understand why you got into it to begin with, and you got in at the 555 and it fell to 536, you may end up selling out of it, right? Because you don't want to lose all your money. So you sell out of it, and what does it do? It comes right back up here to about 554, and you're like, okay, well, it's coming back. So you buy it again, and then it falls back down to 536 again, and you sell out of it, right? And you just keep losing because you don't know why you're getting into it. You don't have a buy point. You don't have a sell point. And those are very important things. But then you look, and overall, it has gone back up. So it has been as high as about 563.92. It has peeled back a little bit. The RSI2 dropped. That's why I got in. So I hope all this made sense. It is making sense. And like I said, I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a different video, show my swing trade portfolio, and give you some ideas of what else that I'm doing and I've got going on. So if you don't mind, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. It helps my channel out as I'm trying to grow this channel to get it out to more and more people, just to get this information out. I think some of this information is helpful and can be quite useful for people who are trying to learn trading and when to buy, when to sell, and also on the yield max ETFs about what is a good buy, when do you know when to buy, and when the actual distributions are being distributed out. So all that is good information, and that's the reason I kind of like to see this channel grow to get to more people, and that way we can grow as a community, and together, all of us working together, we can learn from each other, because I definitely would love to hear your thoughts and ideas on some of these plays, and what are you using to buy and sell. I like to keep it a little bit simple. I mean, you can go into great depths into charting, but I think the way I'm doing here is pretty simple. I'm just looking at the RSI2, and I'm just looking at the moving averages and Bollinger Band. So in my mind, it just about can't get much simpler than that using indicators. So as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.